Hi there, Michael Lovato here at the Triathlete Mag Hangout, and I'm joined by six-time Ironman champion Heather Wurtele.
Yeah, six.
Okay.
You got it right. Nice
okay,
work.
Good. I say that because technically you won as an age grouper. Do you count that one? Didn't you win Coeur d'Alene as an age grouper?
No, that was my first sort of year as a pro. So I was still working full time. So I
Okay.
guess kind of I was an age grouper in that respect, but we'll count it. We'll count it as my
Okay.
first pro win.
I count it. I certainly do. I was there. I remember seeing the speech. It was kind of nice. You referenced your husband,
Yeah.
Trevor, who is a big part of your team and your sport, which makes me want to talk about that now. Is just that support that you have from someone that fully understands the sport. Tell us how important that is to just have that.
Yeah, I feel incredibly fortunate to have my husband as my support team and also just as a fellow professional triathlete. I mean, we had this dream together. Neither of us would be doing triathlon if it weren't for the other. He didn't know how to swim when we first met. I had never ridden a road bike before, and my strength on the bike is really thanks to just following him around. And oh, he's shifting now. Okay, I'll shift now. Or oh, this is what he looks like. And people go, oh wow, you look so smooth on the bike. It's like, I just copy whatever Trevor did when I was learning. And so it's been great to have that support and that dream together, and just to see both of us working hard at it and progressing and improving throughout our careers. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome. No,
Yeah.
It's great. And it's, a lot of people that have seen the sport for a while know that Canada had a very rich tradition of females dominating Ironman and Kona in particular, and it sort of went away. And now we see you coming back with that. So my question for you now is, you've been very successful, St. George, Lake Placid, Coeur d'Alene. Your Kona history
Yeah.
hasn't been as strong, but it's been strong. You see promise. So talk to me about that, how you want to make that step from winning a lot of races to coming here and getting in the mix again.
Yeah, it's interesting how that progresses throughout your career, right? You first, I want to win an Ironman, and then you win an Ironman, you're like, okay, I want to win another one, and then you're like, now I want to win. Like, it has to be a really competitive race for it to be satisfying, and it has to, and so your goals and benchmarks are always moving forward, and you want to achieve more in the sport. And I feel like 8th is my best finish in Kona, and I just have had a lot of races. It's a challenging environment, and I feel like I've sort of fallen short of my potential here and struggled a bit with the heat and had a lot to learn and figure out. And so it's always coming back and just trying to slay the Kona dragon, as I like to put it. So it was really satisfying for me to have a good result at the 70.3 Worlds, because I was happy to sort of be on the podium there and feel like, okay, I can compete at big world championship events. And then now it's just stepping up and doing the same thing in Kona. So
It's a small just, Heather. I think you can do it. So, no, that's great. I'm glad you brought that up, because what comes to mind often was you showed that promise at the full distance and won them, and then you started coming in, and for, I think, 2 years straight, you were really the hot ticket. I watch as a fan and a commentator. I saw you just going in. I would pick you for every 70.3 you stepped on the line for.
yeah.
The question then is, how does that speed help or hurt you now that you have that? Because you ran onto the podium in Mont Tremblant.
Right. Yeah, that's been a big progression for me, I think, transforming into someone that felt like running was really a strength for me. And so knowing that, okay, it's not like I just have to be miles ahead off the bike and kind of hang on. It's that, I can really be strong and consistent in all three and have a super strong ride still, but then run fast. And so then it's translating that to running fast over a full marathon, and then running fast over a full marathon in heat and humidity, right? So there's just all these added challenges in Kona. And just making correct decisions about pacing and hydrating and all of those things. So it's just really coming down to executing it properly, which I haven't done perfectly in the past. So it's always just like, okay, you gotta go and just nail it this time. So.
I love it. You've just got these little justs, and it's so true, because you're close. You've done so well many places, and I think my next question for you is just specifically about yourself. Do you identify, I think you just said, I used to identify as a cyclist. Do you identify still as cycling being your strength, or is running now where you kind of hang your hat?
Yeah, I think more I'm just a better all-around triathlete, and that has come with still maintaining my strength on the bike and becoming a fast runner. Ironically, I mean, I don't have a swim background, but I was always pretty good. And now with the level of swimmers in the sport, it's like, oh man, okay, now I have to, I'm still working to try and get in that front group on the swim. So that's part of the fun of triathlon. There's always things that you're improving upon, and yeah, so yeah.
I like it. No, I like it. Thank you. That's a great, that addresses it exactly. And so there you brought up the faster swimmers. You brought up maybe the changes, I think, that came last year where we had some front pack swimmers band together. How does that dynamic change affect what you do on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of hope for it to be heinously windy.
Love it.
That's
I
my
love
thing
it.
because I feel like then it just makes it, you know, a group of fast swimmer bikers can maybe have less of an influence. You know, everyone's working a little harder. So if I am back of that group, it might be a little easier to maintain the gap, you know. And so that dynamic definitely changes things because, you know, even riding legal distance, a group of 5 or 6 girls, they just start gaining more and more time on you if you're just riding on your own. So hopefully I can be in touch with that front group, and if not, it's just a matter of sticking with your race plan, you know, keeping the watts good, and just knowing that really Kona is kind of a race of attrition. If you can just sort of slow down the least throughout the day, you're going to end up catching a bunch of people. So,
Okay, yeah, exactly. Attrition, that's it. So if someone tells you, new question here, if someone tells you you've got a 10-minute lead, 10-minute deficit, starting the marathon,
right.
what are you going to do?
Just keep running. Just keep my pace steady, what I know I can hold, and yeah, just hydrate, try and stay cool, you know, just keep
That's
chipping
awesome.
away. Yeah.
Yes, good attitude. You seem very well, I think, centered and kind of, not to use a cliche term, but very, I think, in tune with the race. So that's exciting to see. Let's see about this question that I'd like to ask you. So you feel free at any time to ask me a question. Do you have any questions? Just take the heat off. Disregard that. So here's just something that's come up, I think, with some of the women we've talked to. With Chrissy, it was like, oh man, she's coming in here. How close can I get? Mirinda, as fast as she is, you're looking at her thinking, I can beat her. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, Chrissy was someone who you just sort of felt her times were so dominant, and across all three, she was untouchable in a way, partly because of her bike strength and that she would just get that far in advance. But with Rini, you're kind of going, oh, well, maybe I won't even see her until ever, you know, or maybe I won't see her until late stages on the run, or, you know, and so there is that kind of hope that it's sort of open. It's a bit more of an open race, you know.
No, it's great. And I put you on the spot there. I apologize, but it's, to me, people have beaten Rennie, where for a while nobody beat Chrissy. So it is, you're right, you've beaten her before.
Sure, yeah, in half-distance races, and I don't know if we've ever gone head-to-head in a full Ironman outside of here.
Sure.
And so here she definitely has the record of beating all of us. But yeah, no, it is. It's something where you're like, oh yeah. Looking at my race history this year, I've won every race except for third at 70.3 and third in St. George. So you kind of go, okay, I can do it. I can compete with these people, and then it's just making the right decisions in the Kona climate. Really, that is the next big.
Is that literal or figurative, that climate? No, that's great, Heather. Yeah, super. I mean, I love it. We like to do a little segment at the end. If you're prepared for this. It's the rapid fire segment.
Okay.
So just tune up your brain. We're going to dive into some quick questions. Here we go, starting with this one. Do you drink coffee race week?
Yes.
Do you use the AC in your house race week?
No.
Do you use the AC in the car race week?
Yes.
Do you wear compression socks?
At home, and if in public, underpants.
Okay. Excellent. Knowing that Trevor's here, do you abstain from anything, any sort of nightly activities?
No.
Okay. Will you... Or have you ever been, if I'm blushing, at the underpants run?
I haven't, and I don't know if I will.
The final question is, what is your bike time going to be on Saturday? That's a new question.
Well, since I
Rapid fire.
Since I like it to be really windy, over 5 hours.
Okay.
Just barely.
All right. No, that's great. You could have given us in depth, but I appreciate you playing along with the game, rapid fire. So, over 5 hours. Anyway.
Yeah, that's like very broad.
We could see it. So Heather, awesome to chat with you. I think you're in a great spot. I look forward to watching this race. I think you're ready for a big one, and good luck to you. We'll see you out there, and we'll let you go.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks. And folks at home, we'll be back here at the Triathlete Mag House all week long.